Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Joy Nightingale.
And today, we have landed right here in Lee, New Hampshire. And you could say we have a real trick-or-treat for you. Because it's not October yet. It's coming to it. The time of filming this, we are in the off-season of most haunts. But we have had special permission to come because we are at Haunted Overload. This is one of the world's top haunts. And we are so excited. We're getting a behind-the-scenes tour. The sun is out. We don't have scare actors today. But the cool thing about this spot is it takes place in the woods. So people are already scared of walking through the woods.
Kind of.
As it is in the dark at night. Now you put a haunt in that setting.
Oh, forget it. I'm out the door already.
And you know I love folk art. They have structures, houses, 30-foot tall, some maybe pumpkin stuff. And the cool thing about this one is they're always working on it. So after a season's done, they start working on it again, making the next year better, different, more awesome. I'm so excited to share this with you. Hopefully you like this kind of thing. If you do, we always appreciate if you like the video. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to our channel. We're always covering fun, cool stuff like this. And comment down below, what is your favorite haunt in the country? We all want to covering more of them. Joy is a little frightened. These behind the scenes tours is a good way to get her feet in the door. We're all about theming, ambiance, so this is perfect for us.
Yeah, I can't wait to see like the structures outside and the creativeness.
That's what I'm excited for. So, it's time to do this. Step right up. Let's go for this ride. As we head in, you can see what I mean by their structures. Creating full environments. I love that. It's not like some haunts you go to, it's just some plywood in a big old floor of a building, separating, making pathways. No, this is like a village. Like you are embraced in it. We were talking to a gentleman. What's amazing is you might say, oh my God, this one looks amazing. No, this is just the queue to get into the haunt. And this structure here, this is new for this year. And like I said, everything, it keeps evolving. I love it. We are waiting for the person who's going to give us a tour, and we got permission while we're waiting. We could wander around this area, take a look at it.
Yeah, so that's crazy, like coming out of here and you see this. So I'm really liking these like tree wood stumps, how they have like the different faces. Which is so cool.
The teeth carved in make it very creepy. This one using the rope, almost like his mouth is sewn shut. And before our tour starts, I wanted to say, this spot is cool. And if you want to come here, we're actually going to put a link to their website down below so you could go buy tickets, learn more about it, come here for yourself, because that's the whole point of this video. We love this theming and we want to share it with you so you actually could come experience this haunt. Because it's going to be awesome. You should come. I'm talking to you right there.
So my name is Nikki. I'm a builder, set builder, and I'm a scare actor. We have a little crew of builders, probably around anywhere from 10 to 12 people. But there's like a core crew that comes like religiously. We're here all the time. People like Wallace, he's been here since before we were at this farm. And some people come every day like Wallace. Some of us only come once a week. Some twice a week. Some of us live pretty far, an hour, 45 minutes for like Morgan, for example. She's a core builder and she's, one of our most dedicated actors. Her artwork is literally on my shirt.
Wow.
So she's a painter as well. This area went up. So when we go through there, there's a building there that used to be here. We pushed it back and built this crazy witch house for a new entrance. It's kind of a spin-off of our witch house that we already have. It's kind of a lot cooler than the witch house that we already have. So a little sad because that was supposed to be the coolest witch house. But so this is kind of, we made this for Graham. She's our like rule giver. She has this glowy hula hoop and she loves the haunt. She's just too scared to be in the haunt, so she can be out here. And she's very important. She tells everyone all the rules, what you can and can't do. and she's involved with animal shelter. So we donate some of our proceeds to the Pope Memorial Humane Society. And since 2011, we've donated $500,000. So they were able to build a whole new facility, and they're building like an emergency surgery area. And they're now also working on extending like outdoor playtime areas for the animals and stuff, so they're not just sitting in kennels all the time. And we have a lot of crossover, like during the season, a lot of the Pope people will come and help out for the day walk, which is all profit for them. I went on a plane ride with one of our hunt actors, Mike. He took us for a little plane ride, so we were coming over here and you could see all the people. It was like so crowded. So this house and the little thing out front took just a few months to build. These trees have been a 2.5-year, going on 3-year project. First year there was no faces. Second year only one had a face. That would be Angela here to your immediate left. I literally asked.
I love that they all have names though.
They do, yeah. So it's the Reapers have names too, but I did the Reapers, so like for me it's easier to remember. I'll never forget Angela. So this is the building that we just moved. This was out to there in the beginning of last year, and I think the reason we took it down was we were afraid that they were going to be like, you can't have this building here, but then we just put another one. So hopefully they don't yell at us for that one. So technically you're supposed to come in this door. We have these scarecrows. These two are fake pumpkins, but for many years they were real pumpkins. So those are going to get real pumpkins. Where we have Jackie carves like amazing faces and these giant pumpkins, and
Oh, wow.
they get lit. The goal is to, when Eric started, he was a home hunt. He didn't have a lot of lawn space, and so he was building up. So he got famous for like these big, giant, tall monsters, like telephone pole monsters. And so he's trying to keep that alive, even though he's able to build out now, because since the Pumpkin Man came down, we used to have another like marionette type clown that was also very tall.
No, but still, like most haunts are inside and it's just plywood walls. Like, this is epic, just the queue line. Like,
Just ignore Peter.
Peter's taking a nap for the
on the
off season.
Yeah, we need to. He lasted for quite a while, but I always tell people who are taking video, this is a good opportunity to see the hands. These hands took me and eventually Morgan 3 months. So we had a freshly downed tree. We used the bendable sticks. There was already an existing base, and we used wire. So we, wanted the sticks to look. We wanted the fingers to look organic. So when this scene first started, it was just the Reapers. So we added these the second year. We corpsify them, so we work all year long. The only time we're not working, with the exception of last year because things were so crazy, is like Christmas and Thanksgiving.
But it's still beautiful, the attention to
Yeah,
detail.
oh,
Like, this is just
definitely.
one thing you're gonna pass by. Like,
So it's just like one of those things, like he had never done something like this before. It was just an idea that he had, and people love it. So this is so Jack, Reggie also lost his belt, Ronnie. I really thought like I thought Winston was my favorite. I think Ronnie has the best pose. But this is Charlie. He's also a favorite. He's supposed to have some black fabric in his mouth. I don't know how that falls out. Animals must go in there and kick it out of there so they can live in it. And this is Winston, also missing his belt. It looks like I need to have a Reaper day.
they dance naked in the night when you're all not here.
There you go.
This is Jolene's shed. This building has been around since Eric's home haunt. When he was a kid, he was doing this like out of his parents' house, his grandparents' house, his friend's parents' house. And then once he bought his first house with his wife in 2001, he wanted to throw like a big Halloween party. So they started doing it every year, and it got so big that the traffic was like ridiculous on his street, and the cops were kind of like, yeah, you can't do this anymore. So he had to decide, do I want to stop, or do I want to open a haunt and take it to like a more professional level? And so then he started at Koppel House. So I think it was like 3 years at his house, and then he did Koppel House. So this house has moved all of those places. It wasn't used for many years here because he'll change the trails, and some trails will just go dormant for years and years and years and years. So this was part of the haunt in the beginning, and then it just sat around. In the year that I started, we cleared. No, it was actually the year after I started. We cleared this out, put the reapers, and like reintroduced the shed, so actors can be on the bridge. The whole trail is like a switchback, so you can come out from the witch area and come into this bridge. And like if you're curious about, if a roamer is curious about the queue, you can just come in and check the queue. And this is essentially the beginning of the inside haunt queue line.
So that's amazing. We're still on the queue.
Yeah.
You're on the queue for a while, so obviously you're being rushed through that. So this is one of my favorite parts. He was supposed to be here so you could like take selfies, so I just want to go away from him. He's the selfie skeleton. You're supposed to
Joy, go.
You're supposed to take pictures with him. Whatever you might need.
When the haunt's going, how long is it going that night? Like,
Some nights we open at 6:30, sometimes we open at 7:30, but we used to finish at around 1. And Thursday night we don't close late because it's Fright Night Light, and it's not the attendance that we would normally have on a regular night. But it's only for 1 month, and we're not open every single day. So yeah, I mean, we prepare for like a 6-hour night
night.
haunting. So this is our dragon. He's a very old man. I think he's about 9 or 10 now. Used to be part of the trail. You used to go right underneath him into the witch area. But now he has been falling apart slowly by the bottom of the jaw. So we just don't want anyone getting hurt.
And that's what's amazing with this spot. Just look at the size of the structure next to Joy. I see. We're not talking like a little store-bought thing. This thing is insane.
I'm not sure how long it took him to build this. I know all those details about the mansion when we get to it, but...
But he looks like he's 25 feet tall. There's just this dragon lurking around.
Sure he is, yeah.
It's amazing.
I feel like I'm right. There's still space between me from like down here.
And what I love is how it is just wood layered and layered, so it really blends with the environment. So it feels natural here.
I like that
which
he's
makes
hiding
it more
behind the
creepy.
Tree too, like that tree sitting there.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Like, so this pumpkin is not done yet. A lot of these projects are a several-year like installment project. He was hoping to finish it more than it got, but all the hard stuff is over with, and they're gonna hopefully finish it before this coming season.
But that's what's also amazing. When you see the layers when it's not done, you have to see the structure that's built inside to build said structure.
And this is a functional building. Like, this is a dressing room during the season.
Wow.
So a lot of these buildings are dressing rooms, tool sheds. Parts from this sawmill came from his grandfather's actual sawmill, like this blade, the blade inside. And the blade inside has actually cut pieces of wood that are in this farm. So there's like a lot of family history here. So he didn't want to get rid of the sawmill, but people couldn't really enjoy the sawmill because you're being rushed through the haunt unless you were doing Fright Night Light for the day walk. So now they can really stand around and like look at stuff in here and take pictures inside the sawmill, and not be forced to just see it for a split second. This is our double head. He's photographed quite often. He's been a lot of maintenance. Again, he's using the same technique as the dragon, as the skull, as the gargoyle.
That's pretty cool.
We are going to put new hanging skeletons in the building over there to like bring that back because it was awesome. But we were having a hard time getting people to hurry up and go through the haunt, like even in the first scene, because people wanted to play in the vortex. So we put the vortex here, so now you're almost at Pumpkin Alley, you've been waiting for so long, and you're like, oh, look at this cool vortex, let's play in it. It's pretty cool too because you can see people's heads and they slowly disappear as they turn the corner into the Pumpkin Alley.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that this is still
And at this point the haunt is just right there. So while you're waiting in line, you can hear people screaming, you can hear the chainsaws in there, chainsaws come out here, sometimes we have queue line chainsaws. And this is when Pumpkin Alley starts. So when I first started, we carved 100 to 150 pumpkins every week and lit them. Now it's like 200 to 250 because we extended Pumpkin Alley, and
Wow.
So it's fun. I take some home and carve them and bring them back, and then we have like a whole pumpkin team. That's just all they do. They come here and carve, and some of these people carve like they like bang them out in a minute. It's like they just spit out 40 pumpkins in a few hours. It's
Wow.
nuts. This used to be Pumpkin Man's leg,
Wow.
and he was reaching. Let me see if I can find a picture while you look around. So we replaced him with these 3 pumpkins in hopes that people would like. Some people didn't even see Pumpkin Man because he was so tall and they don't look up. It was like virtually impossible to get his whole body in the shot because like the best view was in there, and at that point you can't go any further away to get him in the full frame.
And you said
Yeah.
people used to walk through this way instead of going around?
Yeah, they used to come through right next to the skull.
How many people were fools and didn't look back at that?
I think they did. They did all look back. He's lit
Okay.
with a black light.
When I say these things are massive, the cameras just don't do it justice. So we got Joy going in. When you figure she doesn't even come up to the jaw. Look at the size of this structure.
That's a good shot. So I'm a big fan of the Stan Winston School of Art, and you know, in school I majored in art, so it's always been like in my field of interest to do something like this. So when I first started, I started because I came here as a patron, and then I came here for the day walk, and I took like silly pictures around the haunt, and then I like had all these ideas, and I was like, oh, I wish I had done this, so I messaged Eric about coming here to do a shoot. So I was like, you know, I feel bad that you just like let me go do this. So like if there's anything I can help with, let me know. If you want me to come build or clean up or do projects, like I can do that. And then the body bag scene needed to be redone. So he threw me on that just to see how I would do. And I loved it. I was basically just redesigning the body bags and wrapping them and making them look certain ways. And that led me into doing a lot of more artistic side projects like the skeletons. So it's cool because things like, you know, the witch area, Morgan and Wallace got to do a lot of work on that witch house, and that's like her scene. That's our scene, is the witch area. I helped Wallace build a lot of our dressing room in the witch area. So it's cool to be able to build the project that becomes your area.
Yeah.
And you take a lot of pride in like, I helped build this. So this is finally where you take your tickets. So you get a view of everything. Now just remember there's like 200 pumpkins in here. You get your tickets.
I think that's amazing that this is where you're getting your tickets.
Yeah, that you're just
Finally.
giving your ticket.
Yeah.
This was a new addition. He wanted to do a low wall, so you get the best of both worlds. Not only can you still see how magical the queue line is in Pumpkin Alley, but the haunt is here. So you're hearing people screaming. You know, we put like barricades, but the sound, you know, it's not as blocked by these fences. So you're giving the illusion that you're kind of in the haunt, and you get to like amped up, right? And Biscuit is usually sitting here with a banjo. He's on Instagram, the Real Biscuit Banjo. He's been here for many years. He had a mannequin built for him for the day walk. That's what he looks like.
That's awesome.
This is a good opportunity. So Chris is in the cornfield. He's a scarecrow guy. And so, again, working on the scene that is basically your home scene. So, you know, he takes a lot of pride in fixing those scarecrows. So now, back into Pumpkin Alley. There's pumpkins everywhere. They're all here, all here. And then finally, the castle is where you're told the rules a second time. Mistress Karma works every single night. She has a hissing cat, animatronic cat. It's her responsibility to pace the line. She's got a little TV in there. She can see when they go in, so she's a very important job, and she's here every single night. Very dedicated actors. Most people never miss a night. So we'll go through. There's normally like, I'll just take it down so you can see. We can put it back up. So he like always carves these faces and things for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty neat, right? Just
Yeah.
does that by hand.
That is pretty
Freehands
cool.
it. How does that even... Who even is he?
Does he come from an art background, or did he just love Halloween?
His professional job is he's a digital retoucher for the one. So this used to be the original Vortex. So
Okay.
ideally it should be a very long, closed corridor for the fog to really suck in, right? Now we have a new black light, a new just black, completely black tunnel. And I'm working on faces. They're kind of like mime faces, but I'm using clay to make them look creepy and mean. And they're just going to go on black bodies. So that's all you see while you're in here.
That's awesome.
So now we're in the cornfield. Obviously, the cornfield has been under construction. I like to point this guy out. Eric made him in the first year that he was doing this, and he has somehow survived up until now. Back in the day when he was doing this, he used chicken wire, but like, it's crazy that it's held up for that long. So now this is the cornfield. Normally there's all kinds of corn stalks and hay bales. That's Chris's character.
How many scare actors are here on a normal night?
We have technically 100 scare actors, and last year was the first time we needed a waiting list. But what happens is they can't do every night, or they gas themselves out the first weekend, or they get sick halfway through the season. And, you know, realistically, we may have anywhere from 20 to 50 people who are coming
Right.
all the time. So now we're going into the Devil's Den. Devil's Den was new in 2021. This is when we did all the custom skeletons, and we repurposed these ghosts. If there's a big line, I let them pass, and I let her get them, and then I get the back, because they think like, oh, that's it.
It's
They can let
done,
their guard
yeah.
down. More ghosts. We have a guy that stands in here that's dressed like I like these guys because it's like, you guys are really lazy on the job. Like those ones are lazy too, but at least they look like they're in like purgatory and suffering.
Yeah, no, they're just
What are
lazy.
you doing? This used to all be the nursery, and the nursery was chopped in half. I always joked that I was glad about that because I didn't like the dolls, and it was a really hard scene to touch up. So it's good that we'll see when we get there, but they extended the nursery in a different area, and it was a big change for the nursery that it hadn't really had in a while. So then we dip out into the graveyard. Now, one of the winters we were working on projects, Eric went out into like the real graveyard with like things that he, like with these pieces of wood, and he would trace them. Behind the scenes footage of the work zone if you want it.
Very cool.
We're working on the wasp scene. So you're gonna walk by these little hives. Hi! That's Wallace. Wallace, how long have you been here? 15 years? 17 years. So these are the little mini hives. You walk by, there's going to be people in these hives. There's little pretend
I'm just imagining what the sound effects are going to be.
We try to change up the look in front of the mansion every couple of years because otherwise it's kind of just the same thing. Not that everyone would be fine with that because the mansion is like one of the most sought after, like...
It's just mind-blowing. Like, it's a village built in the world.
So he built, 5 guys built this in 500 hours in one season. And they were spraying it the color it is with stain the night we opened.
We're actually about to go in the house. They're about to turn on some candles so we get a spooky effect. Joe, you love the spooky effects.
This spooky effect is going to be pretty cool, though.
I tell you, all of it's pretty cool. This is amazing.
And I will use my flashlight for the next room. I'm not sure why this one's making noise. And this is with the light. So a lot of this stuff is like, you don't really get the chance to see.
To see, yeah.
Details, like all this was fake spider webs, but probably also
Probably real now.
Yeah.
Mechanical banks and taxidermy birds.
People just donate this stuff to us.
This is amazing. I was like, this is a lot of stuff.
Like we had a drop window here. It was a picture of a family lined up in a bed, like because when people died, apparently the whole family's died.
Your drink and the cookie is in the cup.
Thank you. So like people donate all these photos to us. Now we go this way. There's another little area here, which is some cool stuff. We have a little baby organ. This is usually lit blue. So this is just a good example of Eric's energy and enthusiasm. This was never here, but this is. And when this became part of the trail, this was just suddenly up one day, and he was in there working on it. And I'm like, what is this? This wasn't on the list of things to do. And he goes, well, I didn't like how it looked, so I just threw this up really quick. So this was part of the body bags. Obviously, we got a couple of men down. He'll probably turn this into walls. This is an example of the body bag. This is one of my first projects. This is new burlap that I attempted to make look like the old stuff. This is the old stuff, this is the old stuff. All this old burlap was supposed to be for the pumpkin man, but because we could never dress him, his burlap sat rotting and getting seasoned in a giant pile next to him. So it was literally like perfect. It was like 2 years, 3 years seasoned, but the lifespan is very small because like literally it just, at a certain point, it just deteriorates. Child body bags. Spare no expense in that. Kids and this is a little hidey hole for people. So now we're at the gargoyle. The gargoyle replaced the cactus skull. He has a 40-foot wingspan. It took us a couple of days to get the fabric on them, and Viking Welding made the wings for us. So we had the original train and we built a new train, so it kind of looks like they were going to crash. And during the season, this train has like a fog machine and the light flickers. And then that's the original train. So a lot of people don't even look that way anymore to see it.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. So there's that train. And then there's this one.
This kind of, we like to do the downhill scenes because it kind of rushes people through into the next scene.
Right.
This is our bird's nest. It's not really part of the haunt right now because no one really notices it if you look up. There used to be a bird actor who would go in there. Obviously now there's a fence in the way, so like nobody really sees it. You're not paying attention.
Yeah.
But a lot of scenes are just sit dormant for a long time, and he'll rip fences down and then he'll open up that scene again. So these are amazing when they're not wrapped. This is just to protect them.
Oh, they're not. I think it looks
I know, right?
No, they're supposed to be like basically like the ghost figures in the Devil's Den, but they're skeletons. And then we have that vampire girl. So let me look up.
I like her wrapped. It looks like she's grasping for air. Like, yeah.
She's
I
awesome.
see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plastic looks cool. Non-plastic looks better.
So normally there's all kinds of corn stalks here to create like a little wall. So now we're in the witch area. This is all just like sticks we collected around the whole entire haunt. Now it's like every time I see a stick, I'm like, should I take this with me and bring it to the witch area? Go that way, you have a better view of all the houses. If you go this way, you see this beautiful archway that we worked really hard on.
Oh dear.
But this was also Biscuit's house at one time. This one is really special because me and Morgan worked on the inside together. Again, there's still more to be added. Flowers. They just drop off of boxes of flowers. There's all kinds of stuff up there. There's this guy, an actor we have, made this for us. This is Broomhilda. She's beautiful. And this is the project me and Morgan did. So we use clay on a lot of these bottles, but also I own an animal business and we have like tarantulas and snakes. So there's some tarantula molts inside the bottles.
This was so amazing about this spot because we have these massive 40, 50 feet structures and detail in those, but then the details in something as small as just a little bee. Taking a look in one of the dressing areas.
They come in all sizes. So one of our builders has a jewelry company. He 3D prints these for us. Here's a big one for reference. Yes, and we're ordering like enormous ones too. So these are gonna be all over the wasp scene. Acting saws. Our names are on them. This is like my necromancer cloak. It's part Raven from Teen Titans and Skeletor is the rest. Wildlife. This is our gauntlet. This is just to rush you downhill again. There is some jugs, like there's one here. This is our satanic church, and in here is Sister Lucy, our demonic nun. Eric, she started in the body bags, and then Eric, this is just the kind of person he is, was like, we need a scene for you. So they built her a church.
Wow.
And it was just a hollow church for a few years, and then they built her this gorgeous platform. She has a thing she can step on, it makes the lights flicker. And when there wasn't construction, you used to be able to see the mansion would fit perfectly in this
frame it in.
window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know if that was done intentionally or what.
How much more wood is left to make them?
So I believe the body bags will be repurposed here. This is our cabin scene. It was started and never really finished. So what he wants to do is someday build facades like this in the woods to help block the sound and make it look like it's much further back. One of my favorite stories I tell literally everybody is like broken record, but these people were coming in, and Eric is a chainsaw guy. He has a trench coat, and he was hiding in there, and it's dark in here. There's a pin light that goes on her. It was a different mannequin at the time. Her head is down like this, so it's believable that it was real. And people were yelling at her. There was like a family that were yelling at her. They were like, we know you're real! Wake up! We know you're real! And so he started the saw and turned around, and they were like ping-ponging and yelling, there, you know? So now we have the nursery or the dollhouse. It's not full. These dolls stay all year, and then he loads it up with the rest. It's like bags and bags of them. Really, really nice custom dolls. And if you turn around, that looks pretty cool too. Everything's like lit up with a black light.
Awesome. Which will make their faces pop so nice.
Yeah. So they can go in here and scare from in there and bang on it and swing on the swings.
I love that.
And then like the giant teddy bear out there. It's literally like a giant horror movie child's room.
Oh, no, it's amazing. And it has a swing.
So this is our truck area. These are, it's supposed to be like post-apocalyptic, like almost like Mad Max style. But so the lights turn on and everything. There's truck sounds in here. And you can honk the horn. They usually do to scare you. But the light blinds you, so people can be running up, scaring you from here, and you'll have no
see them
idea.
coming to you.
Yeah.
This is our exit. Our exit kind of used to just spill out, and it was like, yeah, bye, get out. So now we built all this because we want people to like feel welcome to hang out and take pictures. There's another vortex. There's an actor hiding in there.
So do you love the build and the artistry of it, or scaring the people more?
I would say scaring. You love.
I mean, scaring is definitely the biggest payoff. That's what I think. That's what keeps us going. Because sometimes the build is really difficult, depending on the weather and all the challenges that go with it and everything. But the scaring is definitely really fun.
I figured that, but I figured like imagining stuff in your head, then actually living in it is probably a cool experience.
I mean, without a doubt. Like seeing it come together. I mean, as soon as November comes, everyone's like, "Oh, you must be so bumming." I'm like, no, I'm excited for the stuff coming next year.
What I was gonna wonder is like, as soon as you're done with the very last day, it's like the gears are already just like gonna go on now.
Well, it takes us till like Christmas to clean up. So every year it's something different. Last year it was the rain, nothing but rain every single weekend.
The rain destroyed all the pumpkins too. That made the pumpkins. The pumpkins
rotten.
were rotting before they were even carved.
Yeah.
Right, so we had to carve like double, triple the pumpkins and stuff. So every year it's something different, but it's all really cool though.
What's your favorite project that you've ever worked on? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Probably this Probably still the skull, because that was our first really like mind-blowing, you know, one-of-a-kind structure, and seeing that come to life, building the eyes in my, you know, in my driveway at home, and then coming, seeing them put up, and I still never get sick of looking at it after all these years. So that's still one of my favorites.
How old is he?
It's over 10 years old. It's probably
The
11,
dragon is
11
like 9
years
or
old.
10, right?
Yeah.
The dragon's
dragon we
amazing.
made.
When it started as a home haunt, could you ever have imagined it growing to this?
No, it was just such a slow process of, you know, doing it, you know, and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it got to that tipping point where it's either I stop and get shut down by the town because 2,000 people flooding into the neighborhood, or try and make a business out of it. And so it was, it just kind of, it wasn't like I started out to make this giant haunted attraction. It was over many periods of years, and it's just an organic process of, what do I do now? You know, I want to keep doing it. How the hell can I keep doing it? So that's basically how it came to be. And my enjoyment comes a lot from, at the end, looking at all the footage that people have taken throughout the season and stuff, and I can relax and know that the show's over and it was successful. And the show opens and then patrons start flooding in here. We get calls and emails. I want to be a part of this. How can I act? I'm like, come on down, because as people start getting sick and you know, whatever happens, and we start losing actors throughout the season, we get this influx of brand new ones that are completely enthusiastic, and you know.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Yeah. So that's really fun too, to see brand new people coming into the mix. That's really, really fun. So, and then it's very satisfying to hand the check over to the animal shelter at the end. So that's really cool too.
I was peer pressured into acting.
So you weren't planning to be an actor?
No, I just wanted to build. And then they were like, you should be a body bag. And I was like, okay.
And now you can't get enough of it.
Yeah, and then Morgan was like, you should do chainsaw with me. And now it's just, he is proudly our oldest actor. And he kills it. He'll sit out the whole
What are you, like
night.
47?
Hey, I want my T-shirt.
But yeah, he scares a lot of people. Like sometimes I walk by him, I literally know he's there, and he'll do it to scare the other people. I jump, and I'm like, God damn it, Alan.
I pretend I'm one of the mannequins, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gift shop. So like we have an actor who has his own business where he makes like gross stuff. He sells it in there. So Morgan sells her paintings, like the back of my shirt, on there. And she also has her own little art booth here in the day haunt sometimes too. So if you're here for the day walk, you can come through and buy Morgan's art. But it's also sold in here at night. That used to be the gift shop there, that little tiny shack. So it seems like a huge, big, crazy, like otherworldly success, but it's definitely been a really long process and didn't happen overnight. And Eric is very humble. Everybody is. And normally, when the season is happening, there's animals here. You know, they have like donkeys and chickens, and the farm feeds us. And I don't know if the farm will be open this year, but if it is, they have amazing apple cider donuts.
Nice.
And hot cider and stuff.
So there you have it. Our behind the scenes tour of Haunted Overload. It is cool seeing a haunt when it's off season, they're building new things, actually the production side of it. But even with it still being a work in progress,
Oh, I'm still in awe with everything.
I've
that's
never
here.
seen
Yeah.
anything like it. It blows my mind. And you might be wondering, why are you sharing with this now? October's still a little bit off. Well, tickets are on sale and they sell out. So you see how awesome this is. Buy your tickets now.
Yeah, don't wait.
See it. See it. Come get tickets. Go see it by yourself. This was awesome. We want to thank Eric, the owner, for letting us come see this. Nikki for giving us this tour. We had such a good day here. We absolutely fell in love with this place.
Like I said, I'm just in awe with all the creativity that's going with the building, and it's just amazing here.
All right. I think we could call it the behind the scenes tour of Haunted Overload. Been there, done that. Remember, folks, safe travels
Goody.
and live life.
I didn't know that you could go underneath it, or I knew you could, but I didn't know you could get to the underneath from the other side. And I shut off the circus breaker, and I was coming through the castle backwards, and I saw him going, and I tried to run to catch up with him, but he went under the castle and grabbed my ankles and was like, Nikki! And I was like, ah! It's like, I don't usually react when people scare me. I do like this, and I just go, oh. I don't like scream or anything, and people get so mad. So I was literally sitting here, and we wanted to show him something, and I waited for him to come around, and I shot up and grabbed his ankles, and I got him really good. Yes! Payback, bitch. Had a haunt party, like our annual, we race Barbie cars downhill in costume, and then we have like a cookout and stuff like that.
That sounds so fun.
So we're all drunk, and we're giving the new people a tour, drunk, with no lights, pitch black in here. And I had the chainsaw, and I was like, I just have to not crash into this tree. And she went by, and I was just like, cool. I did get her though.